January, Christmas has just passed, and a lot of us have spent a small fortune on Christmas presents for our little people. So today's video is all about money saving. I know in January a lot of us will be feeling the pinch from the amount of money we spent back in December on Christmas presents, on Christmas food, outfits, Christmas nights out. So this year I want to be more organised and start saving now in January for Christmas ahead. 2019. So I'm going to be saving a little bit each week towards Christmas next year, and I'm going to be doing that by saving money throughout the year. So first of all, how I'm going to save the money is to save a little bit each week. I plan to save £25 each week, which works out as £100 a month. So £25 a week might not be very much to you, or it might seem an awful lot of money to you a week, depending on what budget you are on and how much money you have coming into your house. But I'm going to share with you some of my tips on how I save money so that I can come up with that £25 each week to put aside. My first tip is to set aside a budget for non-everyday items. You know I like to budget my items like my mortgage, my utility bills, all those kind of things. But I think a mistake a lot of us make is to not budget for the non-everyday items. So things like a friend's birthday present, a haircut, maybe car repairs, things like that spring up out of nowhere, and you don't have the money put aside for it, so it eats into your budget and then you end up going over budget. One idea is to keep aside a gift budget. So what I like to do is at the start of the year write a list of who I want to buy birthday presents for throughout the year, or maybe someone's expecting a baby, or someone plans to move house and I want to get them a housewarming gift. Make a list at the start of the year roughly with the people that you want to buy for, and then work out how much ideally you'd like to spend on each person. And then I add all that together and make one big gift budget. And then what it means is that when I go out shopping, if I see something which is on offer, in a sale, or something that's just a really good price that would make a lovely gift, I'll pick it up. Maybe something like a nice candle or a pretty notebook, something like that, and I will pop it into my gift box, which I keep at home. I've got a box in the bottom of my wardrobe that I keep for all my gifts, and everything will go in there. And then if a friend's birthday pops up and I've forgotten about it, I can nip into the box and I've got lovely things in there that I can put together a parcel for them. But if I wasn't prepared like that, I would panic. I would go out to the shop and just buy something that I know they would like that's probably over budget, and that's my gift budget blown already. So by being a bit prepared and having that gift box, having your budget put aside for gifts, it means that you won't be caught out and you won't go over budget and spend more than you want to. My next tip is to use charity shops. Now, I'm quite new to shopping in charity shops. I've done a few haul videos on it, and if you're going to have a look at them, you will see that I have got some really nice things in charity shops. I also buy from places like Primark, but I do find that sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes the Primark clothes don't wash as well and they don't last quite as well. Whereas if I buy something from a charity shop, I can buy it for the same kind of prices as Primark or less, but the quality is often a lot better. It's a brand maybe that I wouldn't normally buy from because they're out with my budget, but I can buy it within budget because it's secondhand. And often the items are just like new. My next tip is to save on transport. So I am really bad for just jumping in the car and nipping down to the shop when I could really just walk. And it might not seem like you're using a lot of petrol just to do that little trip, but if you're doing that 5-10 times a week just for little trips here and there, it does mount up. So I'm going to try and walk more and save fuel. Maybe you use public transport so you can save on your bus fare. Whether you use public transport or you drive and you have a car, see if you can save a little bit of money on transport by walking instead, and it's also a lot healthier. My next tip is to be savvy with your food shop. So maybe it means buying from a different supermarket than you normally do. If you buy from one of the more premium supermarkets, you might want to shop from Aldi or Lidl. You might want to just go down a brand. So if you're used to buying like Heinz ketchup, you can maybe buy Tesco's own ketchup. So by going down a brand, you can save a little bit of money. Meal planning is a great way to save money because you don't buy items that you don't need. I am big on meal planning. I've got loads of videos on it if you want to have a look. And yeah, be a bit more savvy with your food shop. It's not something you can cut out of your budget. You have to buy food, but try and be a bit more clever about how you spend your money. My next tip is to shop around for utility suppliers. So things like your phone bill, your gas or electric. Try and shop around and get the best deal you can. There's loads of comparison websites you can use, or you can even just do the groundwork yourself. But shop around, and usually if you are a new customer, a company will offer you a little bit of a discount for moving to them. So it is worth shopping around and seeing if you can cut your bills a little bit that way. This next tip should have probably come after the tip about buying for birthdays, but never mind. This tip is to make your own cards. How much do you spend a year on cards? Even if you buy ones from the likes of Poundland, that's still maybe 50p a card, because you can normally get like 2 for £1, can't you? But if you're buying birthday cards, new baby cards, new home cards, maybe a christening card, what else? Get well soon card. If you imagine how much you're spending over a year, it can be a lot. So if you can buy your own card and make your own cards, if you're not all that crafty, get the kids involved, get them to make a cute card. And relatives always love getting a card that kids made, and it doesn't matter if it's not that great, because they just like having something that they've made for them, and you can save yourself loads of money by making your own cards. My next tip seems like kind of an obvious one, but it is to really look after your items. We live in a really throwaway, disposable culture where if something's broken, you just get rid of it and buy a new one. You can pick up things so cheaply that people just go out and buy a new one. I know I do, but you can save yourself money by looking after the items in the first place, being a little bit more careful with them so that you don't have to replace them. And if it's something small that you can maybe repair yourself, maybe learn to repair that item rather than going to buy a new one, and you can save money, even if it's not very much. Maybe if you can go and replace the item for a tenner, you think, oh, I'll just go and replace it. But that tenner is money that you could be saving. So see if you can look after your items so that they last a bit longer, or learn to repair them. And that brings me on nicely to my next tip, which is to learn to do things for yourself that you would normally hire someone else to do. Now, obviously there's loads of things that you can't do for yourself. Things like, I don't know how to repair my car, and it wouldn't be safe for me to try and repair my own car. But maybe you are quite handy with things like that. If you can learn to do the thing for yourself that you're paying someone else to do, you can save that money that you'd be paying someone else. So things like painting your own home, maybe you can get some tips to learn how to do it for yourself. There are loads of YouTube videos that you can learn to do things that you would normally hire someone else to do. So try and save that money that you would spend on an expert by learning to do that thing yourself. And my last tip is to look into minimalism. Minimalism is something that I came across a few years ago, and it's something that I try to live by as a lifestyle. I've made quite a few videos on it, and I plan to make more in the year ahead. But basically it's about reducing things in your life, simplifying your life, buying less things, and that leads to spending less. So look into minimalism. There is some great resources out there. The KonMari series has just started on Netflix, which is Marie Kondo's series about what's it called again? The Magic of Tidying Up. I think that's what it's called. Have a look on Netflix and you'll find it, I'm sure. And there's loads of other resources out there as well. So look into minimalism, see if it's something that appeals to you and something that you can incorporate into your lifestyle, and you might find that it's a good way of saving money. So those are my top money saving tips. I hope you found those useful. If you did, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, subscribe so you can see more videos like this. And my next video will be up Sunday evening, so be sure to come back and check it out. And I will see you all soon. Bye!